I want to stay on this issue of the financial sector a little bit. I'd like to ask Mr. Strinopoulos about your take on the financial crisis. And obviously, in everybody's home market, people are feeling the pain, and Greek banks and financial institutions must also be concerned about, just shoring up their own facilities there. And then, of course, you have expansion in Eastern Europe. So how does that play out in a market like Romania, where really it's the most, 99% of the banking system is foreign owned, and the Greeks have quite a large percentage of that. So how do you see the market playing out?
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank you and the team for inviting us here. Then I would like to mention that it's not easy to be a speaker next to Mr. Mascaris. He covers everything. So, but being a good people, being a banker for very many years, including in Romania for about almost 10 years, I tend to move away, and since I've decided about a year and a half, a little bit more to go on my own enterprises, business enterprises, I tend to not talk a lot about banking, but I get trapped from time to time. So I fully agree with Mr. Mascaris that the Greek banking presence in Romania, and I can say in the region in general, but for us, this part of the world is important. It is strong. The banks are fairly mature in their business compared to the rest of the banking industry. It is true that the banking sector in Romania, the previous 4 years, from 2004 to 2007, it was growing at alarming rates. I think Greek banks kept the balance while going through these difficult times, because very fast growth is also very difficult, especially in a market where the business, banking is a business which relies 100% on the human factor. And we all know, those of us who have been here for a few years, we know that up until a year and a half ago, it was almost impossible to find, not qualified, but to find professionals anywhere. It was very difficult. So I think during this difficult growth period, years, the Greek banks maintained a balance in the growth of their portfolio, and they are well capitalized, all of them, and they are sustaining very well the pressures of the environment, which is very adverse. And we all know that this cycle, this recession, started with the crisis in the financial sector, and this is the critical part of the economy which bore most of the brunt of the recession, the losses, the difficulties. But as I said, I think with the support from the Greek government as well, which was very significant in the beginning of the year, they added to their capital, and they're well capitalized, they're well managed. I think right now they're all the banking segment all over the world, and of course the Greek banks in Romania are hopefully getting to the end of the period of a few months where the critical uncertainty is how much of the portfolio, the loan portfolio, will turn bad. Recession, crisis, by definition means people who could pay their dues to their creditors, their banks, and you know from the market, the same thing happens in the market, but in the banking sector is more obvious, more significant. People who could pay yesterday their installment, their commission, whatever, they cannot pay today, and then you have to take losses on these accounts. So there is still an uncertainty about how far and how big these losses may be. I think there are very clear indications that the alarming numbers we saw being discussed around in the international community about losses in the banking sector in this part of the world, including Romania, Central and Southeast Europe, the New Europe, what they call it. We had some very alarming numbers, and they created an additional part of this crisis. I think most of the analysts now say that it was overestimated. Losses do happen, and banks do have problems with their loan portfolios, but it seems that a good part of it has gone by, so we've seen it, we've swallowed it, and I don't see a lot of it coming up from now on. I think, and with this I will stop with the banking because I don't need to do a lot. And I think from now on, banks are going to start seeing at least stabilization, and this is very important, of loss rates. And hopefully pretty soon they will see also some improvement. Loss rates which are lessened. Once they have this indication, it means that they know what the risk is. Because right now, even today, there is a degree of uncertainty about the quality of the portfolio. You have to be careful. So this attitude of having to be careful, of being conservative, is reflected in their ability to extend new loans. And this is what is going to get the economy started again. This plus demand, consumer demand. So I think we're getting to the end of it in a few words. It may take a few more months. I hope it's not going to be after summer. And then banks are going to, once they understand what is the situation and they have measured the risk in their portfolio, they can start lending again. They have already started, but they are obviously have to be cautious. So my assessment overall is that we've seen the worst. We still need to be very careful, but normally we should expect gradual stabilization and improvement. And I don't see, there was some discussion about Greek banks having difficulties and everything else. At least until now, based on my analysis, I don't see that we will see much more difficulties than what we saw already. We will see a bit of the same and then hopefully improvement. I would like to say a few things about the business community in general in Romania and the economy. I think we've seen as